Alright lads, so today we are finally getting around to reviewing the 3 new characters, and we're starting off the series reviewing Love. Of course, the one that people are not too excited about, considering that he is an arena-based character, and most of the eyes are currently on Shinji and Lisa. But I do want to highlight this character today, showcasing where he can be used, some of his strengths and weaknesses, etc., like we normally do with our character reviews. And in the comments below, you lads can join in too. If you are someone that did put on this Enderman banner and did get your hands on this new visored hollowification version of Love, let me know what you lads think of him. Personally, from the get-go, I actually enjoyed my time playing with him, and massive shout out to Trashay for actually letting me use their account to showcase this character today. So with that said, let's look into the first of the 3 new visors that we will be reviewing on the channel, the HOLLOWFIED version of Love. So Love is a power storybook slash hollow with the human kill ability. Of course, his human kill ability is something that is not really too exciting about the particular character, because when it comes to actual killers, human and even Quincy killer, we'll talk about that when we get to Lisa, isn't the most ideal character to have. Now, I don't think it ruins the character, but him having human killer does mean that he is very likely to be used less in normal pieces of content. But where you kind of want to use him, that being in the arena game mode, it's actually a pretty good killer to have, because he is technically designed to go against a particular character, that being the arena version of Tsukishima. He does come with a 14% recharge sword rate though, so he's always going to be a good link for your future power characters. And looking at the skills this character does have, he comes with a 40% berserker, 20% bruiser, 2-second debilitator, 40% devastation, frenzy +1, havoc +20%, long stride, and also weaken defense. And then you have a look at his innate skills. He has last ditch survival 100%, poison duration managed 100%, and also sprinter +1. And with all those skills combined with the strong attacks that he does have, because keep in mind, he has really good strong attacks. His first SA1 being a beam forward, SA2 being a launch forward, and his SA3 being a distant AoE in front of him, one of the best SA3s in the game. This makes him actually a very solid character. But how does he perform in certain game modes? So let's talk about it. The first one, of course, being Guild Quest, where he's kind of being designed here for. Now, in Guild Quest, he's actually really good here because he, one, for starters, does have human killer, so he is going to be used in the round 13 of Guild Quest, where you're going against humans, Quincy's, Stern Raiders, and Squad 0 characters. Him having human killer, especially almost designed for this particular week, is actually really good in my opinion, because when you look at the competition in terms of SP characters that you're going to be leading with, there's not that many out there that are actually really good, and him having weakened defense, something that is really encouraged for the most part in Guild Quest, get him to T20, give him a bonus ability such as an extra weakened defense. It will allow your team to do a lot of damage when you do solve them into the final wave. So if you are someone that is trying to clear this potential Guild Quest really quickly with some good damage output, because again, the 40% berserker with the potential double weakened defense will allow you to do a lot of damage, especially against the final boss, he's not a bad option, especially if the final boss is ever a human that is technique based, which will happen eventually. And when that does, he's going to be a really good lead for this particular guild quest. For epic raids, he will actually be good here because again, once more, weakened defense built into the character. You can get him to T20, give him another weakened defense, and that will allow yourself and your team to do a lot of damage. Even with 40% berserker, with the strong attacks that he does have, since they are all melee based, it does ensure that he will be doing a lot of consistent damage. But the problem with this character and the 2 other characters in the banner, Shinji and Lisa, is that when are we next going to see them as bonus characters? Because as it stands right now, they released during a month where we're getting rerun epic raids where he's currently not a bonus where he would have been if he was released in another different month. But lucky for him, and the same goes for Shinji and Lisa in the same banner, is that since they are premium characters, they will return quite often in a couple months' time, so they will be a bonus in the future. And when they are, especially in this case for Love, he's actually going to be a really good character if you do give him double weakened defense. So for epic raids, he's going to have some good performance. He is going to be good in this game mode. It's just a matter of when he becomes a bonus character. Looking at single player co-op content like Inheritance Zone, Inheritance Trials, for example, he is going to be a pretty good character here because again, his strong attacks and the damage output that he does have is good enough to be used. In IZ, for example, where the enemies are really easy to go against, they don't have like high damage numbers and high HP stats, he is actually a very solid character. I was using him to carry a couple of people in co-op, and I was enjoying myself while playing with him, and I didn't really find his gameplay bad whatsoever. In fact, I think his strong attacks, with the fact that he does have long stride, is actually really fun. It made him actually an enjoyable character, speeding through the map, doing a good amount of damage, and also having insane range is something that I really like about this character. But when it comes to Inheritance inheritance trials where you're basically encouraged to have killer, he isn't really going to ever be used in IT. And that's because, again, with 40% Berserker, it's not enough to make him usable when he doesn't have killer. And with human killer, when it comes to inheritance trials, as it stands right now, he's never going to have killer. So it basically means that he can't really be usable in IT unless you really, really invest into this character. But even then, there's always going to be better options, those that have killer. For Arena, this is where the character is going to shine, because if you don't know, he is literally an Arena character that just so happens to also release at the end of the month. In Arena, if you do take him to Arena level 5, he does pick up all stats plus 40%, start power up item plus 2, Poise, and also Frenzy plus 1, taking it to Frenzy plus 2 with the 40% Berserker and the start power up item plus 2 with Long Stride and Poise built into the character naturally. It literally makes him one of the better Arena characters in the game because you have really good mobility, really good strong attacks with insane range, and the thing that he lacks in normal PvE content, his damage output, he makes up for in Arena because, again, he gets Frenzy plus 2 with the start power up item plus 2. And because he does have a human killer, there are quite a few humans that you will see in Arena, for example, mainly someone like Arena Tsukishima, who isn't really that big of a hassle to deal with for the most part, especially if you aren't bringing a Ronka. But if you ever do see any Tsukishima while using this love, he's basically a direct counter to him. So it's very easy clean up for this character if you ever do see any Tsukishimas. And the damage output that he does have from the get-go with the mobility, it ensures that you're going to be doing a lot of damage against anyone regardless of killer. So for Arena, he's actually really good. You just got to understand that he does have some of the downsides that a lot of other Swipers do have, because he himself does not have any read X dodge and he doesn't have any dodges himself. So that means if you go against someone like Aizen or Bruno, for example, 50% of the time they are going to be dodging your attack, but if you do hit them, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be one-shotting them. And it's also worth mentioning that he does get extra recharge in Arena if you do get into rank 5. So for Arena, I think he's actually really solid. Of course he is. This is what he was designed for. I very much enjoyed my time while playing him in Arena, and I didn't really see any bad things about him. I think he's really good in Arena, and if you are a fan of this love and want to use him a lot, Arena is going to be the place to do so. So overall, what do I think about this love? So I don't think he's as bad as people are making him out to be. I do understand he has his limitations due to his killer, and he does have some problems with his damage output, which is only 40%, which isn't bad, but for an end of month character, at least in PvE content, he definitely is lacking when you compare him to some of the other characters that released in the same banner, like Lisa and Shinji, for example. I think he's a pretty fun character, and I very much enjoyed myself when playing with him, because it's been a long time since I've never played with love in Bleach Brave Souls. The past versions have all been bad. So having a playable love that's actually really fun to play around with, even in like single player and IZ, for example, he's kind of fun, and his models are great. I think his animations are definitely better than when I first reacted to it. My first impressions wasn't the greatest, but I'm a fan of this character. I was very much enjoying myself when playing with him, and it gets even better when you do take him into Arena. And as someone like myself that does enjoy Arena, characters like this are basically right up my alley for fun, enjoyable gameplay. But if you don't like Arena and you're not the biggest fan of Love, Caleb didn't really give you a massive reason to play with this character, since again he is limited due to his killer effects. So realistically, the only place you can't really use him is inheritance drops, and that's really about it, because he makes up for it in Arena for the most part, because he's really good, again, in Arena. And with that said, lads, that was basically the video for today, breaking down the new 5-star version of Love. Very solid character, all things considered, and I enjoyed myself with playing him. So in the comments below, as I did mention at the start of the video, let me know what you like to think about him. How do you feel about him if you did pull him? Are you enjoying him? I'm curious to know, and I'll see you lads next time. Peace.